So you have had time to figure this out. What is the least possible value of the period of f? This is problem number 5 on our 3-1 worksheet. So what do you think? What's your period? Actually, it is 2 pi. Because what shapes make this graph? A hill and a valley? And then you have another hill and another valley, but really all you need is a hill and a valley. Everything after that is repetitive. So the period is 2 pi. That actually, my friends, is an actual sine curve. That is a graph of the sine that you will get very comfortable with and familiar with, but that's a sine. Now, using the values, or using the graph above, what are the following values? What's f of 10 pi? Now remember, every 2 pi, it repeats. So won't 10 pi just be 5 periods? So it's going to be the same as f of 0, or f of 2 pi, which is 0. 0. How about negative 5 pi? What do you think? Isn't it also 0? Because of the way the curve is. Negative 5 pi would be the same as negative 3 pi, negative 1 pi, positive 1 pi, and so on. Yep. And how about 9 halves? 9 halves is the same as 1 half. Process that for a minute. 9 halves is 4 1/2. So isn't it 2 periods and an extra half? So that would be positive 1. Very good. All right, how about 7? What is the period of this guy? It is also a sine curve, but it's been, as a vertical shift going there, it's been dropped down a little bit. What do you think about period there?
Oh.
What? Pi. It's 1 pi. 1 pi. You have a hill and a valley, and that distance from the start to the end of the hill and the valley is 1 pi. So 3 pi will be the same as 1 pi. No, yeah, 3 pi will be the same as 1 pi. It'll be the same as 0, actually. Doesn't matter, it's negative 1. How about 5 pi over 4? Think about that. The period's 1 pi. So won't 1 1/4 be the same as a 1/4? And a 4 pi is right in the middle of 0 and pi over 2, so it's positive 1, the top of the hill. Don't just nod at me. Don't just pretend you know what I'm talking about. Are you following this conversation? Negative 2 1/2. Negative 2 1/2 will be the same as negative 1/2. And that is negative 1/2 is negative 1. Negative 1/4 would be negative 3. But negative pi over 2 is negative 1. Negative pi over 2 is negative 1. All right, number 9, no picture, just a chart. Take a minute with your teammate and see if you can do 9 and 10. We're doing 9 and 10. We'll get the answers up here and we'll be ready to move on.
Yeah.
period 7. So every, okay, you want f of 8. So 1 plus 7 is 8. So whatever happens at 1 is going to happen at 8, right? These are x values. And they're 7 apart. Every 7, you're going to have a repeated y. All right, let's talk about number 9. I wrote this up here because I want to make sure everybody understands what it means. We say the period is 7. That means every 7 units, your y value repeats. So f of 1 will automatically be the same as f of 8, which will be the same as f of 15, f of negative 6, because I don't just have to add 7, I can actually subtract 7, and on and on and on, right? So f of 2 would be the same as f of what? 9, and f of 16, and so on and so on and so on. That's the concept that we're using here. So I said f of 8 was the same as f of 1, and f of 1 is negative 1. How does that sound to everybody? Well, f of negative 6 is the same as f of 1. Remember, you're adding 7s. And that's again negative 1. F of 10 for C is a composition. F of 10 actually was 7. They gave me that one. But then I had to find f of 7, which will be the same as f of 0. Or f of 14, or f of 21, I add 7s, right? And that is 2. This says, and again, I like to write this backwards of how he does it, 4 plus 7k. Well, my period is 7. So this just says take 4 and add multiples of 7, right? Well, that's just going to be the same as f of 4. Because what do multiples of 7 do? Nothing. They're the repeat numbers, right? This would be like 4 and then 11 and 18. So this is just the same as f of 4, which of course they didn't give me, but that's the same as f of negative 3, because I'm going to subtract 7 from that, and f of negative 3 is 4. All right? Now, you do 10. It's exactly the same thing. You figure out 10.
I think it doesn't really matter.
I heard somebody say, so what's the period? What is the period for number 10? 10. How do we know? It says g of x plus 10 is the same as g of x. That means your period's 10, because when you add 10, it gives you the same answer. So your period's 10. You guys got them all? What'd you get for the first one? G of 27. What do you think? G of 27 is? 5. She says 5. You want to agree with that? G of 27 is 5? Aiden, you agree? G of 27 is 5, she said? Perfect. All right. How about B? G of negative 7. What'd you get for that one? Tanya?
-2.
She got -2. We want to agree with that one? Everybody? No issues? Perfect. How about C? Julian? G of 10. What did you get for that one?
I got 1.
He got 1. Anybody want to ask about that?
I got 4.
Got 4. For C?
Yeah.
Okay. So G of 10, they give me that number in the chart. Oh, no, they don't. I have to figure that out. So G of 10 would be the same as G of 0. Would you agree with that, Tanya? Because the period's 10, and G of 0 is 4. Then I gotta find G of 4. Did you forget to do that step?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a composition. And G of 4 isn't there either, but since the period is 10, won't that be the same as G of -6? And that's how he got, or I can't remember who I asked, that's how we got 1. The period is 10. So this is the same as G of -3. Right? And they didn't give me that, but they gave me 7. Won't that be the same as G of 7, adding 10? And G of 7 is 5. All right, you feel like you got a grip on that? All right, turn it over. Here's another one of these.